What's good, 99 Dreamers? My name is Julian Taliaferro, and I'm coming out y'all with the 9th monthly book analysis. This one is titled Profound Understanding. So to get into the list of books that I'm going to recap, I'm going to start with the first one, which is Conceptual Blockbusting, A Guide to Better Ideas, written by James L. Adams. The second book is Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds, written by David Goggins. The third book I borrowed in order to read it, so I don't have it with me, but it's called Talking to Humans, Success Starts with Understanding Your Customers, written by Giff, Constable. And then the last book is Raving Fans, A Revolutionary Approach to Customer Service, written by Blanchard and Sheldon M. Bowles. So to get to my recap, I'm going to start with the first book and begin with the analysis. And this one, Conceptual Blockbusting, it was an interesting book because what it was saying is that you can train your mind in order to think creatively, and you can train your brain to think outside of the box. So there are different pathways in order to reach a certain solution. Say you're given a problem. It may not be best to look at that problem in an analytical way. It may be best to think of it visually, and you may have to draw a photo in order to solve that problem. And that's partly what this book was saying. You can use different pathways in order to find a solution. And then when you do that, you're kind of training your mind to think in these different patterns, in these different routes, which will allow you to solve any problem. And there are blocks to our creativeness, whether it's from our environment. Say we're indoctrinated from, let's say, maybe school and how they taught us to think, or maybe our culture or our own perception. There are multiple blocks that can maybe shrink our creativity, but there are many different strategies, numerous ways in order for us to get out of this, and techniques in order to get out of that blockade, whether it's looking at eliminating things, whether it's look at verbalizing things, memorizing things. When you get a problem, imagining a solution, and 50, 100 other ways in order to solve. There's so many different strategies. And that's what this book kind of outlined. It even specifically had a page where it just listed out all the strategies or techniques you can use in order to solve a problem and get out of that rut. So the main takeaway from this book is just that you're not stuck in the box. You can break out of it. You just have to work out your mental muscles and really get these strategies to be normal. So when you get faced with a problem, you'll easily be able to break out of it and find the solution. And again, the book is Conceptual Blockbusting, A Guide to Better Ideas, written by James L. Adams. The second book is Can't Hurt Me, written by David Goggins. And this is my guy, David Goggins. Really inspiring, just his story. And this book is kind of an autobiography. I guess it is an autobiography, but in it, as he details all his obstacles, he also talks about how he was able to overcome it and get through it. And some of his main points in the book is just how our capacity is infinite. You know, as it stands on a day-to-day basis, we may use, when we're going our technical 100%, we may use only 40% of our true capacity. And that means we're leaving 60% out there that we're not using, which is so much potential that we're just not using. So when we get faced with our battles on a day-to-day basis, what he did is he said that we need to use, let's say, our trauma, or let's say the things that we learned in the past, or even positivity. Whatever you need to get through a battle on that day, you need to use it and bring it up for fuel. You need something to fuel you to have that fight and for you to get through whatever you're facing. And specifically, David Goggins' journey was unique because he was on a journey of gaining mental strength, and he did that through physical feats. So that leads me to ask, what is my journey? My journey may be gaining mental strength through entrepreneurship or something like that. I have to kind of figure that out. But he was able to find what his journey is and then streamline that through his entire life. So his entire life, he's on a goal in order to get the most mental strength that he could have. So he could have this iron box of a brain that he can do whatever he sets his mind to. And he also has a 2-word slogan that I love so much. and it's stay hard, right? And I think it's just a great little two-word slogan, stay hard, because sometimes we're a little bit weak sometimes, and we got to remind ourselves to stay hard. So again, the quote or the book is "Can't Hurt Me: Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds," written by David Goggins. And then the third book that I don't have with me is called Talking to Humans. And this was a guide on how to approach customer interviews, customer discovery. And it was a step-by-step process on how we should move forward and gaining information that'll help us craft our startup. And it starts off with first listing out our risky hypotheses. And then once you have that list, go out and ask questions in order to strategically answer these risks that you have. And then when you're listening to these people's stories, be very detailed, listen carefully what they say, maybe even what they do not say, because that may speak louder and speak more volumes. And just pay attention to that. And then what I also thought was very interesting is that Giff said that it's not the customer's job to tell us what the solution is. That's our job. My job as a founder, my job as a business owner, entrepreneur who's trying to bring an item, a product to market, is my job to design the product. I just need to correctly identify the pain points of my customer, right? And that's done through these customer interviews. So the interviews aren't for somebody to tell me what they want, is to tell me what they're struggling with, and then I provide them what they're going to need and what they're going to use. So that's the third book, Talking to Humans. Success Starts with Understanding Your Customers, written by Giff, Constable. And then the last book for this recap is Raving Fans. And this is probably I was going to say my favorite, but I like the David Goggins book too. But this is a really good book, and it was a really easy read as well. And what I took out of it is how you can kind of align your company's mission to create an aura or a feeling of a company that really values the customer. And it's done by three things. One is by defining your vision. When you go to bed at night and you're dreaming of your future business, what does your vision look like? Then discover, what does the customer want? What is their vision? Intermingle these two things, and then once you kind of create a comprehensive vision of both you and the customer, deliver that plus 1%. And then that plus 1% is key, because you're continually adding on better and better perks to your offering, or just a heightened level of customer service to where people will always want to come back and use you and your product or whatever you're offering. So that is the last book, Raving Fans: A Revolutionary Approach to Customer Service, written by Blanchard and Sheldon and Bowles. And overall, these four books, they were able to give me a profound understanding. And whether it was a understanding of myself, thinking about my mental limits, whether it comes to creativity or just pushing the boundaries on what I think is possible, right, internally, or when it comes to gaining a profound understanding of customer service and learning the rudimentary level of customer service and what is necessary to create a company that is aligned with that mission. So that's this recap, and let's get it, y'all. Go and achieve y'all 99 dream, and it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it would be 100%, but nothing is perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that, and let's go and let's get it.